I have a H1 Nova in today with the magnetic charge kit. This was sent in via Olight. So what I'd do is I thought I'd make a video and show you about upgrading the H1 Nova to the magnetic charging base, and I'm also going to show you a comparison with the H1R Nova. I have the neutral white version on the H1, and we'll just run over the box very quickly. You'll see the specifications down below. Bear in mind that runtime is with the non-rechargeable battery that comes with that one. On the H1R Nova, that has the rechargeable battery, hence the different runtimes in the specs. H1 comes with a very nice accessory case. This can also be used to carry other items as well. It's an add-on option for the H1R. Open up the case, you can see all of the parts inside. The torch is pre-fitted to the head strap, and you also have a foam section that holds the clip. You can just pull that off of that. Nice presentation and packaging on this. That's the user manual, which just repeats the basic specs which you've seen. Now you can also take out that foam part, which I would recommend, which gives you more space in the case when you store the head torch. Take the clip off, loosen up the band, and you'll see that the blue colour on this one is a bit different to the H1R Nova. They've changed the design very slightly. It's a bit smaller than the H1R Nova head strap. Not that there's much difference, I just found that the silicone was a bit stiffer on this one. I actually prefer this over the newer one. That's my own personal take. When you unscrew the base, there is a magnet in this, but you get the non-rechargeable battery with the H1. So if you've already bought this, it's still available, by the way. You can still buy this model, it's a bit cheaper, but you can also use the rechargeable ones if you want to. I have an Olight one here, so that was an option for you. If you compare it to the H1R, you can see the base on that's different to allow the magnetic charging, and it's slightly longer. In terms of the other areas of the design, I can't see any obvious differences between them. Whether there's any differences internally, I can't say. The H1R is a newer model, so the idea is we're going to upgrade it with the magnetic charge kit, and this includes the essential items. It has the magnetic charging cable, which is the same as the other Olights have. It also works with different models. You have the battery and the replacement base cap. So we'll take that out of the packaging. You can see the magnetic cap with the charging contacts. Here's the battery. 3.7 volts is higher than the non-rechargeable one, so you're going to get slightly better brightness out of this. Cable length on this just over 50 centimeters. There's a protector for the USB port. You see me snapping on the base cap. The original was magnetic, but we're going to change that over. You probably just want to keep that as a spare. Put the battery in, make sure it's positive terminal down. Well, there's positive and negative on this particular battery because it's a custom one, and then screw the new cap on, and you can see that the size is basically the same as the H1R Nova. The reason for the size difference is the base cap. If I screw it onto the H1R, you'll see that that is now shorter, so that's the difference between the two models. Snap on the magnetic charger to give it a charge, and it turns to green when it's finished. It takes about an hour or just under for that to charge. In terms of the operation on the H1, exactly the same as the H1R. There's no difference between them. They both have the soft on and off. You have the same power levels, and you also have the momentary on function when you go into the moonlight mode. So there's no difference in the operation. In case you're wondering, you can also get the H1R with the accessory case. It's only a couple of extra pounds, and I would recommend getting that. It's a nice little case. So if you're buying a head torch now, I would definitely go with the H1R purely because it works out as a better value for the entire kit included. But if you've bought this perhaps recently or previously, and I've seen it on blowout deals as well at quite a good price, you can add that functionality later on with the magnetic charging kit. I think it's particularly useful if you use the head torch quite frequently. It just makes sense to be able to recharge the battery in the torch. What I've got now is some beam shots comparing the neutral and cool white, so have a look at those.